Hello, this is Reverend Don Lewis coming to you from beautiful Florida. And today our question comes to us from Magenta. And Magenta has a question about glamouring. And I want to preface by saying that Magenta herself says that this is a silly question, although it actually isn't. And she emphasizes that she has not been watching too much Harry Potter, that she is experienced in metaphysics and has used glamouring to good effect in certain situations, and she describes a couple. But her question is, and I think you'll immediately see why she finds it necessary to preface it as a silly question, can you use glamouring to change your physical appearance? And she references media representations of people who change their hair color or their eye color with glamour. And is this possible? And my answer to this is that, as with so many things in metaphysics, the answer is both yes and no. When we talk about glamouring, we're not actually talking about making physical changes in the person. We're talking about making changes in the perception of the person. And glamouring can do some really remarkable things. And can you change the perception of your appearance? I think absolutely. I don't know that it can go quite so far as changing hair color, but I don't know that I would say that it can't, because we're talking about perceptions, and there are so many things that can come together to change a person's perception. Are you going to physically change your hair color? Generally speaking, no. Now, I will say that in some cases, if you're focusing on this glamour over the course of many years, there might be a physical change, and I will also say that if you're highly accomplished in metaphysics, maybe you can make some change. I don't think you'd be able to make a great deal, but the thing is, how would you know? When we do high-level magic, it usually comes to pass in ways that seem very natural, and often that nobody notices except perhaps the person who did it, and not even always then. So if you were to make a major change in your appearance using magic, I don't know that you'd be aware that you had done it. And I don't know that anyone else would either. It would seem like it had always been that way. So I'm not going to say it's not possible, but I am going to say that I really would not consider it to be a normal or ordinary thing, and if it is possible, people aren't generally aware of it. What we do, and a lot of people do in fact do it, is change the perception of how they appear. And in some cases, even if they appear. And of course, glamour can be used for invisibility. But it's not like the movie The Invisible Man. You don't actually become invisible. But you can use glamour in such a way that people will not see you there. And in fact, Magenta references having done this. And it certainly can be done. I have done it. I know many other people who have done it. And it can be very effective. But it has nothing to do with physical visibility. It has to do with perception and attention. And in that context, glamour can do some remarkable things. Can it change your eye color? Again, I don't think physically. Can it change your hair color? I don't think physically. But can it change people's perception of your eye color or your hair color? I think in some cases the answer will be yes. Having said that, however, I don't know that I would really recommend putting a lot of energy into that when you can simply buy colored contact lenses or dye your hair with a lot less expenditure of energy. But can it be done? I think that you can change people's perceptions sometimes, not necessarily often, but sometimes even to that effect. And is it an interesting experiment to try? Well, I think I would recommend it in that context to see what is possible. And I would say that it's not a bad idea to work with glamouring, even if it isn't really something that you feel you need, but to see that in fact it can be done. So, those would be my thoughts on the subject. I hope you find them helpful, and until next time, may you blessed be. Pray for peace. Pray for love. Pray for stability. Pray for the nation where you live. Pray for the world. Hello, this is Reverend Don Lewis coming to you for Pagans Tonight Radio. Pagans Tonight Radio is an online radio network with different hosts and different shows 7 nights a week. There's something for every taste, including Spanish language programming on Saturday evening. Check out paganstonight.com today.